The Bostonian is Matt Perrault.
This is our city.
The Book is Dave Sharapan.
Pay him. Pay that man his money.
Together, they are the Bostonian versus the Book.
You covered! You covered 12! I covered!
Follow the show on Twitter at Boston versus the Book.
How do you like them apples?
Bringing you the best insight on sports betting news, Matt and Dave's daily picks, and an entertaining and unfiltered dive into the sports betting industry. Here's Dave Sharapan and Matt Perrault.
And here we go.
You are not wrong to say, wow, you guys are on early. What's up, Brigade? How are you? It is actually on the dot, on the nose, start time of 1:30 Eastern time. You might go, why are these guys on time today? More on that here in just 1 second. Dave Sharapan, the Book, Matt Perrault, the Bostonian, live on YouTube, live on Twitter, replayed on SiriusXM, and on Sports Grid Television. You may hear a leaf blower or two. It's not me for the first time. It's actually Dave's leaf blowers for the first time. How are you on this Baseball Tuesday?
I'm so annoyed with the leaf blowers. They've been blowing for half an hour. They're blowing the leaves down the street. I don't know what they're doing, but we're good. We got a kid home from school sick today. Little Consig Kendall's hanging out. She's in the chat. Don't bury everybody in the chat, Kendall. I know you're here watching and you don't feel great, but enjoy the show. It's October. It's postseason baseball. You know what time it is. It's baseball, bro. I can't wait. And then we went and got this guy to come on. He said he'd come on. That's why we had to start the show right on time because he's got a heart out. Everything's punctual. This is good. It's good.
Matty Vasgersian coming on the program here from MLB Network. He'll join us in like 3 minutes. So stick around. We'll get his breakdown of everything happening today. 4 games on the docket happening today. 4 game ones we're going to break down today, get his thoughts. Got other things too going on in baseball. Angels firing their manager. Got a new guy going in there. You wonder if Ohtani's going to have a say as to who the manager is going to be next year for the Los Angeles Angels. We got attendance numbers that came out today from Major League Baseball. The A's did not draw 1 million fans. That's unbelievable. It's unbelievable.
Is it though?
Yes, it is. You have 81 home games. They don't draw 1 million fans. That's incredible. That's paid. That's not butts in seats. That's just paid tickets. They didn't have 1 million ticket sales. It's unbelievable.
Well, I mean, the fans can only speak back and not go into the games, right? They're not happy with the product. They don't go to the games. Why would they go to the games? You go to the games to see the visiting teams. After a while, you don't even do that. So, I don't know. I mean, that's going to be the Vegas A's. Is that still going to happen? Like, we don't. I mean, wow. I didn't even draw 1 million.
That vote happens in November, by the way, in case you're curious.
Yeah.
The votes, I mean, by all intents and purposes, that's going to pass. And it'll be official that the A's will be moving to Las Vegas. And where's the ballpark going again? Like,
nobody knows where that's it. That's not even important. It's crazy. They've stopped asking about that, whether they're going to have a team or not. I don't know.
Oh, yeah, that conversation's been completely muted down by the F1 conversation and the construction going on with F1 and everything else going on around town. I saw a really interesting video about what the paddock's going to look like for F1, and they are building a state-of-the-art thing. It's enormous, the start-finish line where they're doing it right off the strip. So that'll be a permanent structure, and I guess we all get to play with that during the off race time. But,
right.
Who knows? There's a lot of really wild things going on. 4 games today, Dave. Which one are you the most excited about?
Oh, man, that's like asking me which one's my favorite kid. I really am excited to watch them all. They all have a little different, twist to them.
Right.
I think, because it's the last one, Miami and the Phillies. I mean, I got my guy Norm, who's watching the show right now. He's going to the game. He's texting me that I talked to him last year before he went to every game, and they won every time I talked to him. So he's mad that I didn't answer the phone. I said, Norm, I'm doing the show. So he's dialed in watching the show. Normie, I love you. I'll talk to you after we do the show. We got a meeting and all that other stuff. But what do you have one that you can't wait to watch more than the others?
Marlins. Yeah. Marlins, Phillies. I'm fired up. I'm on the dog. Let's go, Marlins. I'm all in. My National League team I want to win. Not going to happen, but I would love to see the Marlins make the World Series. It would be insane. Not going to happen, I know, but it would be insane. And then I got to go ahead and pull. A part of me is pulling for the Diamondbacks. I mean, there's so many Red Sox people who are part of that organization for the Diamondbacks that I would love to see Diamondbacks upset the Brewers. So those are the two teams I'm the most excited to watch today and see what they look like in the playoffs.
There were some insane prices on that exacta today.
Yeah.
On the World Series exacta on the Diamondbacks. Like the Diamondbacks Rangers is 450 to 1. The Diamondbacks Blue Jays was 400 to 1.
Oh,
the Diamondbacks Twins was 450 to 1. Just get another round with that sweat would be fun.
Right.
And the Marlins, there was a couple 525s, 525 to 1.
Okay.
Luzardo's beat them twice this season.
I got a lot to say, but I don't want to make our guest wait because he's a very
make
busy.
him
Oh
wait.
no, he just ran. Okay, hold on. He just got up. He had to go do something real quick. He was grabbing something. Okay, because I'm always grabbing things. Look at this. He's putting it on. He's bringing on.
What is that?
This is a team that too many people are sleeping on, Dave. This is still the road to the American League pennant still goes through the Space City boys. I don't care that they quote unquote backed in at the last minute. You want to pitch to Yordan Alvarez and Jose Altuve in the postseason? Be my guest.
He is Matt Vasgersian from the MLB Network. I believe this is our first either green room or office interview. Matt, how are you? Welcome to BVB. You're very busy today. Thank you for coming on all these big game ones for today.
You know, look, I've been yanking Sharapan around for the last week and a half.
Damn right, you
guys. And it's not for lack of interest. I can't wait to talk to you guys. Can I take a swing, by the way, at the last question that you posed there, Dave?
Let's go.
One?
Let's go.
This is the one that I just kind of researched my way into being very interested in this one. Blue Jays Twins is the one that I can't wait to sit down and watch for the following reasons. We know that the Twins are feast or famine lineup, right? They hit a ton of homers, not quite the Bomba squad of 2019, but the homer is still there. They strike out like crazy. They got Gausman on the mound in this game, who's got a strikeout prop set at a really interesting 6.5. And at first, you might think that number's a little low. It's Kevin Gausman, split finger fastball guy, American League strikeout leader, ... DTT. But know this, and again, this is stuff that I just stumbled on today. Kevin Gausman had 4 starts this year where he threw 100 or more pitches and pitched less than 6 innings. So he had those hard-working innings. 2 of those were against the Twins. I don't know if they have something on him. I don't know if they just can battle the splitter better than other lineups. But, you know, Rocco Baldelli is going to have all of his left-handed power guys in there today. Kirilloff, probably Wallner. He's got Royce Lewis on the roster. There was some question as to whether or not he was ready. Polanco's going to play. Willie Castro's going to play. I got the Twins scoring some runs, not to mention it's hot. It's humid at Target Field. The ball goes to right field there anyway. I know you can get Minnesota over a 1.5 through the first 5 at a decent price. You get Minnesota's team total at 3.5. I think there's some stuff in there that if I were sitting in your shoes, lads, as guys that don't have any skin in the game that can do this, pretty interesting game for me.
Can I push back?
Do that.
Yeah. I want some pushback on that.
So I guess it's not pushback on the Twins team total, more it's pushback on the Twins who have lost 17 consecutive postseason games, which I still can't believe that actually that stat is true. 17 straight
18.
is
it's 18.
What?
It's 18.
18,
Oh,
yes.
18 straight.
Ridiculous.
My goodness. Okay,
Yes.
even worse. 18 straight losses for the Twins.
Yes.
Lopez gave up 11 earned runs in his last 3 starts. He faced these guys. He won a game 9-7 against the Blue Jays back in July. Are you okay with him on the mound and the Blue Jays not getting up to a fast start and scoring early?
I don't know that the Twins win the game. I just think that the market is looking at Gausman and his strikeout crown. They're looking at the fact that he ended the regular season with 14 2/3 scoreless, and they're probably valuing that. And that's why they've put the Twins number a little lower than you'd find in another circumstance. So I think it's a number thing. I don't know that the Twins win the series, but the matchup today is fascinating. Here's another one for you. I'm pulling this out of my research notes.
I love this.
Kevin Gossman has a stolen base allowed percentage of 84. That is the second highest among all postseason pitchers. And the Twins have some guys that'll sneaky run. I mean, they don't have burners, but they've got some guys that'll steal a base. I think Rocco Baldelli is going to be really interesting to watch how quickly he goes to the bullpen here. His bullpen's ready too, by the way. That the Twins K rate in September was tied with the Rays for the best in baseball. They had a 30+% K rate out of their bullpen in September. So once those bullpen gates swing open, the Rangers are in trouble, and I think Toronto's in trouble if they don't have a lead.
Who's better than you? I mean, you come on and just fire all this stuff. You really are the man. I mean, I'm so excited.
No.
I wrote a couple things down. I mean, 42-29 record after the All-Star break for the Twins. That's good. That's only second, behind Orioles and Rays. They're sleeping on the Twins. Everybody is. Even the guys in the book. Their prices on the exactas are absurd. I fall for the Central teams every single year when I do this. Between them and the Brewers, Matty. What is going on with the Brewers? Woodruff was almost in tears yesterday. I was crushing. And they moved all the numbers, all the guys in the book. I was at Circa this morning trying to get some exactas and stuff. All the Brewers numbers went up, and all the Diamondbacks numbers came down. This is not over. I mean, Burns is winning today, right?
I mean, one would think, because the Diamondbacks have Brandon Pfaadt on the mound to start a best-of-3 quick series, and they got a guy on the mound that gives up 3+ homers per 9. And the Brewers are not a big home run hitting team. I get that, but be ready for that bullpen gate to swing open pretty quickly too. He might go twice through the order, and then they're going to try to mix and match the rest of the day and get it to Gallen tomorrow. But Gallen's road ERA is twice of what it is when he's at Chase Field. So yes, they have their ace for game 2, but he's not at peak power when he's away from his home ballpark. The Diamondbacks are not set up pitching wise the way they'd like to be, just because of what they had to do to get in at the end. If they get to a third game, the calculus changes a little bit, but the only series that I think is, I mean, look, what do I know? We don't know anything, right? But the only series that I feel pretty good about saying I could pick a winner on is the Rays beating the Rangers. The Rangers bullpen's a mess. How about this number? The Rangers are the first postseason team in the history of the sport to have a save percentage less than 50%.
Wow.
They blew more than they converted.
Wow.
And that had never happened for a postseason team. That's going to show up in the next 2 days, especially against a Rays bullpen that is on lockdown right now. And every time of year when they get to the postseason. I like the Rays a lot. Every one of them is a fascinating talking point. And Matty, I like, look, the Marlins could punk the Phillies. That could happen. That could happen.
The Rangers bullpen gave up 198 home runs. In the way, I know the Rays ended the year differently than they began, but that is a home run ballpark. How do you feel about the over 7.5 for the Rangers and the Rays here, with runs being scored in this one, mostly by Tampa Bay once they get to the bullpen?
Man, yeah. I don't know. Glasnow was a little clunky down the stretch, right? So there's some hope there that the Rangers might be able to score. I'd say that once the starters exit, especially once the left-hander exits for Texas, that bullpen has been a gas can, and that's where you might get to your number. Maybe you want to wait and do it live, but that's another fun one to watch, man. That's how we start our day today, with that.
What's the next month like for you? Because it is the most fun month for me, and being out here. But I mean, you're there. You're watching all the games. The post-game stuff is electric. This is just the meaningful pitches. Every single pitch means something. What's it like for you?
Yeah, it's fun. I mean, I'm curious too this year because of the new clock, right? It always has gone that once our game gets to the postseason, it slows down to a snail's pace. And I think it hurts the appeal of postseason baseball when the games are 4 hours long. They're going to be a little longer. But not what we've seen in the past. We had that Seattle Houston game on Wednesday, which really put Seattle in a bad spot when they got thumped that day. And it played out like a postseason game. It was nearly 4 hours. You got mid-inning pitching changes. You got a lot of 3-2 counts. You're going to get that with Gausman and Glass now. Those games are going to be long today. But I don't know. I talk out of both sides of my mouth and back one side or another until we the sun sets today. I don't see a lot of runs in anything other than that Twins game today.
Matt, do you think there is a real rivalry between the Astros and the Rangers, given what's going on in the media right now, how the Rangers backed, unfortunately, their way into the playoffs with not getting the 2 seed in the bye? The Astros got it. Some of the comments that were said in the locker room by the Astro players. Is that real? Is that for like the next couple of years? Or Rangers, Astros, is it something to watch?
Yeah, maybe. I mean, they have that tired silver boot series. They were trying to make it like a college football rivalry where whoever wins the season series between the two teams gets the silver boot. I don't think anybody was really that into it. But when a beat writer makes a comment on Twitter and then the other team's president of baseball operations goes off about it, maybe there is some juice there. Maybe there is a little bit something going on there. And, the Rangers, everybody else in the AL West says the same thing. They're tired of the Astros beating up on them. But there's a reason the Astros beat up on them. They're the best team. They've been the best team for the last number of years. I got the Astros coming out of the American League. That's my horse there.
I was going to ask you, we always forget about the teams that aren't playing these first couple days. And talking about the Astros, nobody's really, despite the fact that they are the 1 seed, giving the Orioles a chance. It's so bizarre. They're lower in the numbers than the other. I mean, behind the Astros, rightly so. But do you think the Orioles? I mean, we've got a lot of people watching the show in Maryland. They got some Oriole fans out here. They're giddy, Matt. They're giddy over this. Live, American League? No.
Very live. No, very live. Look, I think part of the market uncertainty around the Orioles is, first of all, haven't been there and done that, right? It's all unproven. They don't have a whole lot of combined postseason at-bats or innings. And behind Bradish, there's some question about how they're going to, pitch the rest of the way. Do you want Kyle Gibson in game 2? There's some questions there. You could have a big discussion on it. But we've been kind of discounting the Orioles all year the same way. And they ended up pitching fine. And their bullpen was great. They're going to miss Bautista for sure. But they didn't have him the last 6 weeks of the season anyway. Or 4 weeks, whatever it was that he missed. There's a lot of magic in that team that the sabermetricians and the numbers guys hate because they can't quantify it. You can't quantify how big Adley Rutschman's at-bats are with runners in scoring position. You can't quantify how well they match up with their outfielders, or Sed Mullins having a big hit out of the number 8 spot somehow. It's hard to get your hands around it, but they're real.
You got to run, I know. So last one, you like the Astros, other side of the bracket, who is coming out of the National League?
I'll give you a qualified terrible take here.
Perfect.
If the Phillies get past the Marlins, and that's an if, the Marlins could do it to them with 2 lefty starters. They could win both games and do it quickly. But if the Phillies get past that, I think the Phillies get back to the Fall Classic.
Awesome stuff. Where can everyone watch you for today and throughout the playoffs? When are you on? When can we watch your stuff?
Coming up shortly on MLB Network with the great Al Leiter and the great Sean Casey. And tomorrow, same time, same channel, midday, we'll kick off the morning games and spew hot takes and give people bad advice.
Matt, thank you for doing this. I know you're super busy. We really appreciate you coming on the show today.
Thank you, sir.
You guys. You got it, boys. See ya.
All right,
The one and the only Matt Vasgersian joining us here from the MLB Network here on the Bostonian versus the Book. That was a lot of fun to get him on the program. Let me do some quick little change around, switch
around the boxes.
Switcheroo, round we go, and we are good. That was awesome to get him on to talk about everything.
Literally in the green room before he goes out and does the show.
Yeah, that was really
tremendous.
That was very cool to have him be on and come on. So thank you for him to come on, and we got him out right on time, like we were supposed to.
Excellent work.
Always fun when you can get people in and out. I know how crazy things can be. Okay, so here is the bracket. In case you do not remember the bracket, this is today, starting today. 4 games, 4 versus 5, 3 versus 6. Astros, Orioles, Braves, Dodgers are buys. Dave, how many of these series, 4 of them, how many of them will see a third game in your mind?
Hmm. 3?
Wow, that many.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think so. I mean, what series is going to win 2 in a row? The
This
only
one?
one I really think was Texas Tampa. If Texas loses today, I think they lose tomorrow. But they could split that.
Mm-hmm.
Miami and Philly. I mean, he said it. That could go 2-0 either way.
Mm-hmm.
I
Agreed.
don't think it does.
Right.
I think that one's headed for 3. Toronto, Minnesota. Throw your hands up. I really that's the one that is I guess. And if Burns wins today easy, it ain't going to be easy tomorrow. I don't even know who they're starting. They don't know who they're starting.
Right.
They haven't
don't know.
said
Yeah.
whether they're going to throw Perrault or not. So I don't know. I was looking at that. I stopped on the way home at the Fay and I grabbed the sheet. I didn't bring it over with me right now for the exact series result bets. 2-1 in almost every series was 350 or more.
Okay. I think the theory is home teams have a big advantage in this best of 3 series.
Do you think they do?
I don't know. I mean, again, this is all so new. I don't know what to make of home field here. I don't know what to make of, the Marlins have been playing playoff baseball for a month. They've been battling. The Phillies have been pretty much, they've known they're in for a long time. They've been just playing baseball, knowing they're not catching the Braves. They haven't had to push. They haven't had to scoreboard watch. Phillies have been pretty much just, kind of not coasting, but just playing different type of baseball games than what the Marlins have been playing. So I don't know. The Marlins they're much better at home, but the Marlins are unbelievable in 1-run games. And they won the season series against the Phillies 7-6, 4 1-run games that they won of those 7. And I think they are more battle tested. So I don't think it matters for the Marlins that they're on the road. I'm not sure it matters for the Blue Jays that they're on the road. I mean, I think the Twins, until they win a playoff game, I'm not backing the Twins. Like I'm backing the Blue Jays today, and I think the Blue Jays have a chance to score. That game could go over as well. I mean, I think Milwaukee wins today. I don't know what to make of the lineup for Milwaukee against Arizona if they don't score today, because they should score today, because Fott should get hit hard by Milwaukee today. But if he doesn't, I don't know. That could be interesting. Diamondbacks win that series 2-0.
It's very possible. I got all the numbers here because I knew we were having Matty V on, and I didn't want to him to completely embarrass me. He's just so good at the job, and he's constantly doing this stuff. But Zach Wheeler made 6 starts during the postseason run last year for the Phillies. They won 3 of his first 4. He was 1-1 with a 1.78 ERA before he lost the World Series games. He's 10-4 with a 2.48 ERA in 22 career starts against Miami. That's 141 innings. He's 10-4. Luzardo, on the other hand, 3-0, 3.26 ERA in 5 career starts against the Phillies.
And 2-0 this year.
And 2 of them this year, 12 1/3, 5 runs, 3.65 ERA this year. Phillies 30-21 when facing left-handed starting pitcher this season. That's good. I thought they were 500. So when I saw that, I was like, oh. And then the note that they put, this is all from MLB Network research team. They did an unbelievable job and sent it to me today. Schwarber's 15 homers versus lefties trailed only Francisco Lindor in cross baseball. Lindor had 16. Schwarber had 15. Maybe him live to hit a home run today. Home run prop, was probably worth a stab. He's hitting leadoff. If it gets to the bullpen, though, you know why the Marlins made the playoffs. Their bullpen was a disaster. They did win a lot of 1-run games. They traded for David Robertson, and it didn't work. Marlins closer Tanner Scott, 0.99 ERA. That's 3 earned in 27 1/3 in 24 appearances since the beginning of August.
He was
Phillies
awesome.
better be winning before it gets to that point. I'm telling you right now, because he's probably lights out.
Yeah, I like the Marlins today. I think the Rangers are going to have to score their way to get, and that's why I don't think they're going to win. I didn't love the price on the Rays today. I mean, would you lay 150 on Tampa here?
I have not yet. And the reason I did not was because of this number. The Rays are 53-28 in home games this season. That's tied with the Dodgers for the best in Major League Baseball. But the Rays have lost 6 of Glasnow's 9 career postseason starts. And he's got almost a 6 ERA in those starts.
And that's why I bet the over.
Rangers offense led the American League with 888 runs. And they hit 233 home runs, which tied the Twins for the most in the American League.
And the Rays are the number 1 team at home this year to the over. 51, 28, and 2.
Huge move to the under in that game right now, too.
It's all coming on there. And I'm fine with it. I get why.
Huge steam to the under.
I don't fully understand
it.
Nor do I. It opened at 8. It's down to 7.5. That's when I bet it over at 7.5. And I get playoff games are playoff games and 3-2 baseball games happen, but that Rangers bullpen has a 4.28 ERA. 198 home runs given up in a ballpark that gives up home runs.
Yeah.
You can bet the under if you want in this game to say it's a playoff game, sure, but no way, man. Not with that bullpen, not with Glasnow's history in the postseason, and not with the Rangers knowing they must score to win. I mean, they're not. I don't see the Rangers winning a 4-2, 3-2 baseball game. I just don't.
I like the total, I think, better than the side.
For game 1, yeah, I want to see it. That's why I bet the over. I bet the over more just to see what's going to happen.
Yeah.
Just because Glasnow could give up 2 or 3 runs easy. And then we could see 5 runs given up by the Rangers, 5-6 runs, 6-3 final, 5-3 final, somewhere in that range. I don't think it's going to be like a 7-1 blowout. I don't see Tampa destroying the Rangers today, but we'll see, I guess.
Yeah, I'm looking for. I had a stat written down for the Rays bullpen.
It's good. It's really good.
Yeah. Can't remember what it was.
If they have a lead, I mean, if it's like 3-1 going into the 6th inning, it's a wrap in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
I mean, you can live bet it. I mean, that's one way. I think a lot of these games are going to give you a lot of live betting opportunities to say, all right, this, granted, postseason baseball is different than every other, game played so far this season. But generally speaking, the numbers are there. You have enough data to go ahead and make some pretty educated guesses for bets as to what's going to happen. Phillies are 150 as well. I got plus 139 last night on Miami.
Yep.
It was not directly a numbers play for me, but I think these teams are closer than this number. I think this is a closer game than minus 150.
I think this is my favorite total play of the night. And
Under?
I can't. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I think I like.
So Marlins aren't scoring a lot of runs. I mean, if the Phillies score, the game's over. I mean, 4 runs is kind of like first team to 4 might win this game.
That's probably the final. Max 4-3, right?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Somewhere in that.
And you can bet. I mean, I thought about betting the run line for the Marlins and take the plus 1.5, but it's too expensive. I mean, it's plus. I think it's minus 150 or minus 160 to take the 1.5.
That's not bad either.
But it's expensive though. I mean, it gives you. I mean, if you want to lay the juice on the Phillies minus 150, you might feel better about taking the 1.5 on the Marlins at minus 160.
We'll ask the crowd, guys. Like, subscribe, all that stuff on the show. Well, let's do the total first. Over or under 7.5 in the Phillies in Miami. I think we get a lot of underplay. And not that that's wrong. I just think the boys in the chat and the girls, Kendall,
it's Miami here. I mean, it's Miami. I think you have to go with Miami. I think you have to do that.
Yeah.
Mikey also, Matty Vasgersian's coat rack is like Dave's hat rack.
Yeah, it was way more organized. I gotta get my shit organized.
It was phenomenal. Hell, he had it all neatly aligned.
Yeah, there's no question. The guys, like when you do a show with him, and you do like the prep before you sign in early and you just go back and forth. You want to talk about a pro? It was so easy. I'm like, this is great. I mean, it's just like you got the rundown, everything lined up. He's got it all teed up. I'm going to do this. Okay. And then he's asking me on a commercial breaks, what do you think about this? What do you think about this? I know he's looking at stuff all the time, but he's so busy. I mean, he's doing games, play by play, sometimes traveling, sometimes not. So they do that remote studio thing. It's impossible to keep track of stuff. So, wow, we got a lot of unders in the chat.
Makes sense. It's playoff baseball.
Under the. ODU under.
How about this line shift? This totally flipped.
What?
Minnesota was favored last night. Toronto's now favored.
Where's Toronto favored?
I saw it today. Am I wrong?
They're not favored anywhere.
Really?
Yeah.
Hold on. Did I misread that? I swore I read that this thing. I was like, how did that flip? Because I got even money last night.
Oh.
On Toronto.
Yeah, that's what it is now. Plus 105, plus 110, depending on where you do it.
Okay. Yeah, it's the best, the worst odds. South Point's at minus 112 right now, plus 102. It opened at 115. Okay, so I'll flip that on that. But what do you make of this game? It's 18. It's not 17 straight. I swear I read 17 straight last night. It's 18. It's 18 straight playoff losses.
Yeah, they came. I mean, that's what they sent me.
Incredible.
Minnesota's lost each of its last 18 postseason games dating back to Game 2 of the 2004 ALDS. That's a record across the 4 major North American pro sports.
You want to bet the Twins today? I mean, come on.
I don't.
You cannot bet the Twins today. You can't bet the Twins today. Not with that number hanging. Forget it.
I mean, it doesn't mean anything.
It does. It means. Wait a minute. We're baseball fans. It means something.
It means nothing to the game.
Oh, it means everything to me. It means everything. I think it means a ton. I'm not betting it blindly for that reason, but I think if there's a coin flip situation, I'm going with Toronto. Baseball gods don't like the Twins.
Okay, so here, let's cancel that out with this. Toronto hasn't won a postseason game since the 2016 ALCS.
That's okay.
They were swept in wild card series in both 2020 and 2022.
One game. Those are one gamers.
No, they weren't. They were 3 games. Last year was 3 games. They lost.
Okay,
they were
fine.
up 8-1. Remember, Cam was at that game. Cam still talks about going home on the train and that little kid in a puddle crying, going, why do we root for these teams? Oh,
I like Toronto today. Give me the Blue Jays.
16-15 in Gossman starts this year. I couldn't believe that number. I thought they won a lot more.
0 earned runs in his last 2 starts, both against the Yankees, unfortunately, but still,
right.
He's been throwing well. 3.27 ERA on the road, opposing batting average of 239. He did beat the Twins in July, but again, it's a fade on Lopez for me more than it's a play on Gausman. I think Lopez gets hit today. 11 earned in his last 3 starts. He's not exactly throwing the ball well. Who has, in your opinion, who has the better lineup, the Twins or the Blue Jays?
Well, there's all these question marks for
I mean, health-wise?
Twins. Carlos Correa hasn't played since September 18th.
Right.
Due to plantar fasciitis. Royce Lewis hasn't played since September 19th due to a strained hamstring. Supposed to be expected to be ready for the postseason. Byron Buxton hasn't played since August 1st because of his strained hamstring. He may not even play. And then Jorge Polanco sat out the last 2 games after leaving Friday's game in Colorado with soreness in his right ankle.
So you're back in? You want back the Twins? Go ahead. Back the Twins. I want no part of it.
I think that game goes under. I like in order of on a rotation.
Scares me.
Texas, Tampa over. Miami, Philly under.
Yeah.
Toronto, Minnesota under.
Okay.
And Arizona, Milwaukee, I don't know the
Well,
total.
the moves to the over. The money's
Yeah.
coming on the over in this game because of Fought.
Arizona's 4.48 team RA is the highest of any team in a postseason field.
I'm
Like,
not comfortable in this game. I have nothing on this game. I got to watch this. I already have two sides. I bet plus 154 on the Diamondbacks. I've got the 21-1 play on the Brewers. I'm watching this. I'm going to let this kind of slide for a second.
You can put this one in the chat right now, too. Arizona, Milwaukee, boys and girls. Who you got? Just the winner of the game. Burns and Fought. Totals 8. How about this? I didn't realize Burns threw 2 starts against Arizona this year. First one, 8 scoreless, no walks. That was in April.
Okay.
Came back in June, matched a career high 7 runs allowed over 5 innings in a 9-1 defeat.
Okay.
That right there. I read that and I'm like, which one are we getting? It could be either or. Although the Diamondbacks literally are limping into the game.
Mm-hmm.
Like that they won their spot, backed into it because the Cubs could win a game. They had to play the Astros all weekend. They didn't score no runs. Sunday, they mailed it in and said, everybody rest. Everyone else get out there.
Go party in the
It's
pool.
Milwaukee. In the chat, yeah, there's no one reaching out for the Diamondbacks. No.
I'm pulling for them, though. I would love to see the D-backs win. I would love to see the Marlins win. Those are 2 teams I would love.
You and me
Orioles.
both, man. Them exactas will get real interesting.
If they come out, yeah. So I'll say this before the playoffs begin. I think we're seeing chalk
at the end.
Yep. It's either
Dodgers,
Braves,
Astros.
it's Braves, Astros, or Braves, Orioles. One of the two. I think there's a lot of fun stories, but I think at the end of the day, I think that's who we're seeing. I think we're going to wind up seeing chalk here for a lot of these. When did the exactas come down, by the way?
So I was going back and forth with Benson last night, and then I asked at the counter today. Still can't get a definitive answer.
Okay.
They're up every day at Caesars, so
and they'll
you can
rotate
bet them. They'll adjust them. That's what they did last year. That resulted in me going through like a tank of gas going there every day, because if Milwaukee beats Arizona today, those numbers on Arizona will get even bigger. They slide them up because now you're facing elimination. It's a fun thing to do, is adjust them. It's a real labor of love because you don't get no extra when you got to do that and everything else in the book. But Circa told me the plan is put them up until the games start today, keep them down until all the series are final.
Oh,
and then
wow.
put them back up, readjust it.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Take all the bets. Whereas Caesars is not. Do them daily. Adjust them.
Which book do you go to for Caesars here in town? I mean, do you go all the way down? You don't go all the way to the Strip, do you?
No, Arizona Charlie's.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that. That's
all. Everything that was William Hill is now Arizona Charlie's.
So it flipped. Okay, is it branded Caesars or is it branded William Hill?
It says William Hill powered by Caesars, or Caesars powered by William Hill, or something. I don't know who powers who
in Arizona Charlie's. That's great.
You gotta go to the counter
at a former station's casino. That's great. I love it.
and who knows what it'll be like next year.
Right. All right. That's good because I think I'm gonna go do that. I did this last year with hockey and it ended up burning me, and I'm probably gonna kick myself again for not doing it. But I want to do the exactas, but I can't figure out if I want to wait. I think I want to take 3 or 4 positions now and then wait until after the first round and then come back in with more significant wagers once we see the wild card game. Like once we're down to 8 teams, have a better idea of like, all right, because I can't get past the fact that I can't see the Braves losing.
Right.
I can't. So I want to go buy the Braves tickets today because I don't think the Braves tickets are going to get better in price. They're going to get worse in price. So take Braves against a couple of long shots, the Braves.
The Braves, Orioles, and the Braves, Astros aren't going to change. So you
What about
only have
Braves?
to get.
What about Braves Tampa?
Well, it's 20-1 approximately right now.
Yeah, I want that ticket.
If they get there, if the Rays beat them, it's only going to drop to 18 or something. It won't get adjusted much.
What do you mean? What do you mean if
It
they
won't
face
come
off?
down. Like you want to get it today, that's fine. You won't be able to get it today because we're on the air and you're going to miss it. So
Yeah,
you got to get it tomorrow.
but Caesar's tomorrow, right? Yeah, I mean that's what I mean. I can get it tomorrow, or I can get it the next day. If Caesar's is going to keep it up, it's not going to change game to game for that factor, right?
Yeah, that's what they do. That's what I said.
I know, but will that game change dramatically? Like Tampa, like if Tampa wins today, right? What's the exact price? Do you think it's going to be Tampa against the Braves?
Rays defeat Braves was 28-1 this morning.
So then, what would it be tomorrow if they win?
Rays defeat Braves would be 25.
Yeah, so it's not dramatically different.
No, it's not going to be dramatically different. No.
So that's
what they advance. Do it before they advance in a series.
Yes, that's what I want. Right.
It'll be
chopped. I want that. Because just looking at it, just as terms like I just can't. I want to buy the Braves tickets against some of the longer shot American League and not Astros and not the Orioles. And then do Rays, and then, I mean, I don't know. I guess by Toronto. I can't see Toronto going far, but maybe Toronto. What's Toronto over Atlanta?
40-1.
Okay, so grab those because I don't think the price is like what's Orioles Braves today.
18.
Orioles over Braves 18-1.
18 at one place and 16 at another.
Will that change much?
Orioles Braves isn't going to change at all. They're not playing.
Yeah, right. Yeah. So, no. As the series goes on, what do you think as we get deeper into the playoffs after the first round? If Baltimore wins and Baltimore's in the ALCS, what's that price go to?
Half.
Okay. So maybe it is worth buying.
I can't believe how low the Houston prices are. Comparatively.
Why?
Because the guys at one book think Houston's going to the World Series, and the guys at the other book don't.
But they're the defending champs.
I know, but you can see the drastic difference. Like the prices at Circa, they're kind of either in with Houston or they think Houston's going to get there. Which, if you have a position for the futures as a book and it's Houston, you ride that thing. Like we did that the year, I think it was 2019. It was good. And that's when Mattress Mac flew in and wanted to bet it with us. And we were like, dude, we're not giving you $2 million on the Astros to win. We've been working all season to need this. We're not giving you the money. We're just, you can bet the limit. We'll give you twice the limit. And he was not interested, but you can tell they need it. That's why the prices for the Astros and the Orioles, surprisingly, are noticeably higher at Caesars and William Hill versus Circuit, and that's usually not the case.
Interesting. Watching the Braves, what they do well up against the teams they're going to face, I can't see them losing. If you look at the bracket as to how the Braves are going to come out here, the Braves are going to face the winner of the Marlins to the Phillies. And you could say, okay, the Phillies might be able to get past them because, experience, blah, blah, blah. I don't like that Phillies bullpen, and I don't like up against the Braves, and the Braves have home field. And I think it's, Atlanta. And then
last year.
They did, and that's even more motivation for Atlanta to win this year. I think Atlanta's better this year than they were last year.
Right.
And then what? The Dodgers are going to beat the Braves? No, they're not.
Why not?
Their pitching staff. I can't back them at all. I'm not buying the Dodgers. It could be the Brewers. The Brewers could beat the Dodgers. And so, I don't know. I need 7 wins for the Braves to make the World Series.
Right.
That's all I need. I need 7 wins from a team top to bottom who hit more home runs in their history.
Oh yeah,
With Acuna, who's doing incredible things, with Olsen, who's doing amazing things, and with pitchers that can just go and give up 3 runs in 6 innings, and they know they're good because that lineup's going to give them 4 to 5 runs every time they play at home.
Yeah, it's like trying to beat a 3-1 in a horse race. Like that the horse is even 2-1, like it's a big favorite. And I'm not a horse guy, so I'm just that's a horse analogy.
Right.
I'm definitely not a horse guy. We got horse guys in the chat. I don't want to say it's the Braves to lose.
It is the Braves to lose. It's baseball, but it's the Braves to lose, just given where they are, their pedigree. They've got guys who know what it means to win and how to win. They know how tough it is in the playoffs. They're not going to be caught flat-footed. They're not going to be like, starry-eyed and be like just being happy to be in the tournament. No, they're here to win the thing. Like, that's my worry about the Orioles. Like, I'm worried about, are they, where they want to win? Do they know how to win? I'm not sure they do.
100 games.
Yeah, in the regular season. Yippee. None of these guys have any playoff experience.
If they play the same way, and again, it changes a little bit, but it's still just baseball. They don't make mistakes. They're one of the best, if not the best, base running team in baseball. They get extra bases and steals, and they put pressure on. They don't make errors either. They're tremendous at fielding the baseball. I think the Orioles, despite the fact that
Starting
no playoff
pitching.
experience,
Starting pitching.
the third starter going to be interesting. But if they can piece together a bullpen game behind it, get them through the order twice, we'll see.
I wish Bautista was healthy. If they had a guy in the back end of the bullpen who could come out and throw 100 miles per hour, I'd feel much better about the Orioles' chances.
JC from KC said only a horse guy would say that. Man,
The last 6 outs for the Orioles in every game, I believe, will be a roller coaster ride.
Yeah.
It's going to be hard for them to close games out. In particular, if it's like a 3-2 baseball game and you're handing the ball to somebody who's really unproven coming out of the pen. They don't have their all-star closer, which really stinks.
I got MLB Network on the TV over there.
Right.
Seeing Maddie's on there right now.
It's awesome. It's so cool.
It's
nice.
Just went from here to over there.
It's great.
Oh, it's so good.
So 26 of the 30 Major League Baseball teams this year posted attendance increases. Only Dodgers, St. Louis, Washington, and the White Sox declined. The Dodgers is a bit misleading.
Nope, you froze. I felt you going. I felt it. You were like getting slow, drag, boom, snap your fingers.
Should be good. We should be back.
Are you back? You're back. There you are.
So the Dodgers numbers,
everything just cleared up. That was great. I don't know what that was. Good.
The Dodgers a bit misleading because they led Major League Baseball in overall attendance. So they were down, but
what is their number? Do you have their attendance number?
3.84 million. The A's drew 832,000.
Same
Dodgers,
game, same league.
League.
Not the same.
State.
It's Major League Baseball. How is that possible?
3.84 million versus 8. And by the way, technically San Francisco, if you look at the full metro area, it's actually a bigger population base to draw from than LA. Two teams, though. There's 2 teams in that region versus 2 teams, but who goes to Angels games?
Nothing makes sense about it.
So, I think it's interesting because this is a big thing for baseball because of the rule changes.
God bless you.
Excuse me. Sorry, I was trying to shut my microphone off.
That's all right.
I missed. I pressed the wrong. I missed the button. I think it's interesting if you baseball made a lot of changes this year. Okay. They added, they subtracted, they wanted to pull things away. They wanted a faster game, and they got a faster game.
Yeah.
And by getting a faster game, attendance went up. Mission accomplished, right?
Ask the kids. The kids love it.
So
baseball's coming back.
That's a big deal. We give Rob Manfred a lot of crap. Ghost Runner still is the worst rule in sports.
I love it.
But you love it so much. Why don't we have it today?
It's the playoffs,
Well,
Matthew.
why
We
don't have it
know
today?
that.
If
It's
you
a
love it. If you
regular
love it,
season
it's such a
rule.
wonderful thing. Why isn't it happening today?
Because we don't have shootouts in hockey for the same reason.
And it's stupid then too. You
It's
play
not.
you play 162 games, you play 82 games, and when we get to the most important games of the year, you get into the tournament, we're like, fuck it, different rules.
Yeah, we're playing the
It's
game
ridiculous.
now.
It
Doesn't
makes
matter
no
how
sense.
long. We can't decide. We can't
It's so
decide
dumb.
a playoff
It's
game.
so
on a,
dumb.
on a
Because
Ghost Runner.
what? We can't. What can't we do?
We can't decide a playoff game on a Ghost Runner, just like we can't decide an NHL game on a shootout.
So why are we
you
doing
nuts?
Why are we allowing any game to be determined by these stupid rules?
Because
It makes no sense.
for injury purposes.
Oh, injury
We need
purposes.
to end the
My
game.
God,
Attendance went up because you don't have to be in
Yeah.
a ballpark in
Yeah.
the 15th inning.
That's not why attendance went up. Ghost Runner was existing
Attendance went up.
before this. No, the pitch clock's why the game went down and was faster. The shift was why the game was faster. The bases being bigger while the game was faster.
What do you think the longest game was this year? I don't really know. I think it was like, what, 13 innings?
That was the longest game all year, was 13 innings.
I don't remember a game going to the 14th or 15th inning.
How about that? There had to have been a game in the 15th inning. There's got to be.
Somebody
30
look it
teams
up in
times
the chat.
100. 30 teams times 162 games. The hell
Ghost
number is
Runner
that?
ends the game. That's what the purpose of the rule is.
No,
I'd be
Ghost Runner-
shocked if there was a 15. I don't think there was a 15-inning game.
The Ghost Runner should exist after the 12th inning, after each team has had a full complement of batters up at the plate. Then put it out there. That's when if you have 9 outs, if you can't win the game in 9 outs, now we're going to artificially end it. But you get 9 outs, each of you get 9 outs to go ahead and figure out whether or not you can get there or not. That's when I would put it into play.
Burn through pitchers that way, though, too. And pitching isn't.
Eh.
I don't know.
Burn through pitchers that way. I don't buy any of that. But so, anyways, the A's are coming to Vegas in November. It'll become official right before the winter meetings. And they drew 832,000 ticket sales, not fans in the ballpark, ticket sales. That's not turnstile. That's ticket sales.
How many did the Aviators draw?
It's an awesome question. I wonder if I can pull that up.
I would guess. I mean, if they averaged 10,000 a game, it was close. It was 80 games.
Year by year attendance for the Las Vegas in 2023. Wow, they drew 506,000.
Okay.
They averaged 6,800 per game. Down
in a place where 100 to 110 all summer.
Yeah. The A's, and remember, they play far fewer games. I mean, that average attendance of 6,800, that's more than what the A's drew. Because remember, you play a shorter season. There's less games in AAA. They stop playing on September
2 weeks
1st.
before, I think. Yeah, 2 weeks before.
They also start later.
No, they start right around the same time. It's the first week of April.
Don't they play 140 games?
I think it's 100 and is it 140? That's a good question too. I don't know.
Number of AAA games per year. Let's see. They play.
Cubs, Diamondbacks went 13 innings. Twins versus
150 games.
Okay.
Double A plays 138. Single A plays 132.
Oh, Zach the Hat. Hello, sir. Welcome to the chat.
So that's 6 less games they played.
14 innings was the longest game. Cubs.
How about that? 14 innings. That's incredible.
14. That's it.
But I mean, this is, when you talk about numbers, the Oakland A's.
CBW said, Matt, 832,000 divided by 81 home games is 10,200.
Paid.
That's the average right there. He did the math. 10,200.
Last in Major League Baseball, but more than they had 700.
Who was next?
They had 787,000 last year.
So their number went up.
The number went up. Yeah, they drew more than last year.
So who was next? Like, how big of a gap is it from Oakland to the next team? That's what we need to know.
I'm going to pull up the list.
That's going to be the measuring stick. I mean, just throw out the bottom and you throw out the top.
You throw at the bottom, you throw at the top.
Yeah, so they're going to measure Vegas by.
Well, they came in the middle of 27,000. That's what they thought that they would do.
Of course, but the second to last, who was next? Please tell me it was. I'm going to guess like Kansas City.
Well, this is from Front Office of Sports daily newsletters, what they sent out. And what they said was, after predicting a full season lift of 6 to 8%, the league ended the regular season with a total attendance of 70.75 million. That's a 9.6% increase. The total in MLB's largest since 2017 and the first above 70 million since that same year. The key factor in this year's attendance bump was a trio of new on-field rules that introduced a new pitch clock, larger bases, and a ban on extreme defensive shifts aimed at eliminating dead time within games and creating a crisper, more action-filled product, more relevant to younger fans. Those changes helped to generate a massive 24-minute reduction in average time for games to just 2 hours and 40 minutes, the lowest since in Major League Baseball since 1985.
Wasn't personal, JC from KC. I was just trying to think of a market that had a bad team and didn't draw fans.
Kansas City.
He just said, "God damn it, Dave." Miami.
Also contributing. Nope.
CBW said Miami was second with 1.1 million.
Wow. So also contributing was an influx of newly competitive teams with Arizona, Baltimore, Miami, Minnesota, and Texas all returning to the postseason after multi-year absences. Each of those teams were up by double-digit percentages in attendance. So that's not Miami's fault. The Los Angeles Dodgers led the league in attendance for the 10th consecutive year with a total of 3.84 million. The A's ranked last and are now preparing for a formal league vote next month on their Las Vegas relocation bid. 17 clubs reached 2.5 million in attendance, matching a league record, while 11 separate weekends reached 1.5 million, a figure more than twice the combined total of 5 such weekends in 2018 and 19, and 21 and 22. Overall, 26 of MLB's 30 teams posted attendance increases in 2023. The Dodgers recorded a marginal decline, as well as on that perennial league-leading total. And St. Louis, Washington, and the White Sox each posted disappointing campaigns on the field.
Winning, people go.
Correct.
It's still a tried and true method. When you win, people will come.
If you build it / win.
He said, Ray, people will come, Ray. People will most definitely come. They will come when you win.
Which, by the way, if you haven't watched the video that was posted on
how good was that?
It's a 6-minute sizzle reel of baseball movies. If you don't cry at least once, you don't love baseball. I watched it 3 times last night and I was like, oh my God, it's on Dave's Twitter account and my Twitter account. You guys can go and find it. It is moving. If you love baseball, it's a 6-minute joyride of emotion. It's so good. It is absolutely amazing.
And the guy that did it, apparently, underneath the original tweet is the link to the video on YouTube. It's actually 3 minutes longer.
Oh,
they had to cut it
for Twitter,
to put it on Twitter. Yeah. So I haven't watched it yet, but I have it to do this afternoon. Oakland, 832,000. Miami, 1.162 million.
Okay.
And then KC, 1.3. We're the bottom 3. So I mean, that number is really bad for Oakland. I mean, that's
horrific. But the Royals believe that if they get this new ballpark built, they believe that they can double that number.
Wow. They
believe they can. It's just like Tampa Bay. It's the same conversation where Kauffman Stadium is. It's outside the city limits. It's not the nicest of parks. It's old. They want to build a whole shopping complex, but they want out. They want to leave that whole area to Arrowhead and let the Chiefs have that area, and they want to move downtown, which they think will be better.
It's hard having the baseball where there's the most games out away from everything.
Fair.
Right? Like it's
the best city in America is Philadelphia for this. They have the best complex. They have the best, easiest, accessible inside the city limits, but far enough away that you don't get crushed with traffic. They have a direct train right to both. They have things to do inside the complex with Comcast Live and all these other things going on inside of the area. And you have the bank and the link right there.
Seattle's exactly the same way.
I've never I haven't seen Seattle. Is there
awesome.
There's public transportation to the park?
Perfect.
Wow, that's great.
It's perfect. You don't have to, it is great. I was so impressed because the time I went before, we stayed right down by the ballpark, so we just walked over.
Mm-hmm.
But this time we stayed just a couple miles away, and we took the train. It was perfect.
Wow.
Yeah, or the subway. I don't know what they call it in Seattle, but
above ground or underground? It's got to be above ground in Seattle, right? It can't be underground in Seattle.
No, we took an underground thing.
Wow, it goes under. It's a subway.
Yeah, it was
not a trolley.
No, cool. They had both.
They had both? Okay.
They had both. Like in Pittsburgh, it's just above.
Like, see, in San Fran, it's just above. It's just a trolley. There's nothing goes underground in San Francisco.
Yeah.
So I think Seattle would be able to go underground, but that's cool. That's neat.
Yeah,
I've never been up there. I got to get up there. So that's cool. All right. Baseball starting here in a little bit. You got to get your bets in if you're going to do that.
Yep.
What happened last night? Let's get to football. The Giants get absolutely worked by the Seahawks. I mean, speaking of Seattle, holy crap.
What was that?
Are they the worst team in football?
They're in the race. Listen, did you feel bad for Daniel Jones at any point? I did.
He's making $40 million. I'm good.
He was running for his life every single play.
I'm good. The Daniel Jones face is now a thing.
Man,
staring off into, oh my God, what's happening face. I love it. It's perfect. That's now absolutely a meme. It's absolutely a thing I'm going to use whenever says something. If somebody says something I don't get, like that Daniel Jones face is now what I'm using.
Oh, he was just sitting there like, man, he kept going out there. At some point, I figured you're going to pull him, but they didn't. They kept him in a long time. He got hit a lot.
That pick six was unbelievable. Like, what was he looking at? Brian Dabble was just like, what are you looking at? How did you throw that football? Witherspoon's like, thank you.
Yeah.
The Love kid, number 20. I was so damn impressed with him, former Giant. He was making sure his guy scored. Hustled his ass off. I was like, man, if I'm a football coach, I'm showing that every time. Go make a play for your teammate to make sure the team wins. Right. It's winning football. Seattle is playing winning football. They have 15 rookies. That's winning football.
Oh, Otto said Pittsburgh has underground and below. I didn't know that. Sorry.
Pittsburgh. I mean, any East Coast city should have underground.
I didn't know.
If you have subway.
I mean, through tunnels, but I didn't think
that's
there was
underground,
anything underground.
Yeah. Well, it's technically underground into a tunnel.
All that being said, Miami is hosting the Giants. The line before the game yesterday was 9.5.
And then they play the Bills.
The Giants do. In prime time.
The next two games are Dolphins-Bills.
Smalls is done.
Yep.
We may never see Smalls again. I want Smalls to come back, but our teams were bad. That was different level last night.
That was not competitive. That was because they've lost 40-0 and 24-3 at home. They haven't scored a home touchdown yet. It's unbelievable. I mean, it's unbelievable to watch the Giants.
What were you doing with the tweet? I saw what you were doing.
With what?
You called every team in New York. Did you say suck? And then you put the Rangers mid? Is that what you did? That's not it.
This is it.
Oh, that's it. Yeah. What does that say? Just for the people at home that may be watching.
The Jets suck. The Giants suck. The Yankees suck. The Mets suck. The Knicks are mid. Nets suck. Rangers are mid. Islanders are mid. This is awesome. This is awesome. How fun is this? They all suck. There's not a single team in New York City that's any good. They all, even the Rangers and Islanders, I'm stretching to say Rangers and Islanders. Someone came at me and was like, the Knicks are good. I was like, really? How come if you take the top 6 teams odds-wise to win the Eastern Conference, the team you don't find is the New York Knicks? They're longer than 16-1 to win the East. Fuck the finals just to win the East. Knicks are horrible comparatively. They got no shot. Someone actually was like, the Celtics will choke. They were in the Eastern Conference Finals. I don't care if they choke or not. They don't suck. Like, bottom line. I mean, the Bruins, they choked. They do not suck, okay? There's nothing. You can say all you want about their ability to win championships, but they're competitive. They're good teams. You're talking about them. The Jets and the Giants are awful. Oh. They lost 23-20, and people thought the Jet fans thought they actually won the Super Bowl. Like, ooh, we were close. We didn't lose by 100. Like, Mike, talk about moral victories with the Jet fans. It's unbelievable. Their bar is so low right now. It's awesome. Mets and the Yankees, they know they're both going to suck. They know they're not going to be good next year. They both know that's going to be rinse and repeat. And we're going into Knicks season where they already know they have no shot. It's already over. Basketball season's already over in New York. What's there to talk about? Bing bong. What? You're going to win 45 games and be bounced in the first round? Congratulations. That's awesome. If you make the playoffs. Nets sure as fuck aren't making the playoffs. So then what are you doing? The Rangers are a nice little fun story with a good goaltender who can't play. He's the only reason why they're in games.
Right.
And if you tell me the Devils are good, get a damn map out, please. Okay. Like, well, they play just over. They are from New Jersey.
New Jersey. It's in the name. New Jersey's New Jersey Devils.
So it's not the New York City anything.
It's not.
Well, the Jets and the Giants play in the Meadowlands. I don't care. They represent
the name. It's in the name.
It's who they
New
represent.
Jersey Devils.
Someone's like, a lot of people in New York like the Devils. I don't care. Okay. Those people are from New Jersey who probably live in Manhattan and don't want to root for the Rangers. That's probably what that is. The whole city, the entire.
Is anyone in Connecticut that roots for the Devils?
Of course. Yes. 100%. Just like they root for the Yankees and the Knicks and all the New York teams because they don't know what to do. They're confused. So this is going to be awesome to watch how bad this gets for New York City. This is the #1 media market. This is the most arrogant city in America who thinks they invented sports and championships.
Yep.
City of champions who literally are praying just to get into the playoffs for their teams. Praying.
I didn't even see that in the rundown. That was outstanding.
I love it. It's so good. I absolutely, completely love how bad New York. Seriously, answer this question. Is there a pro team in New York City that you would call good?
No.
Right? There's not a single team you call good. You say they're okay.
Let me think. Let me
have
think.
some
Wait.
possibilities.
Let me think. No.
Jets, Giants.
No.
Mets, Knicks,
I know the teams.
Mets,
No.
Yankees.
No.
There's not anybody there. I mean, the Rangers, maybe.
The Rangers got the best. But
maybe.
listen, if you're in New York or you watch the show again, thank you for watching the show. 1, 2, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Tell someone. We're almost at 5,000 followers on the Twitter handle at Boston versus the Book, but on the YouTube channel, subscribers are growing every day. If you're in the New York area or New Jersey, because
New York City area, because Buffalo people get all up in the.
Yep, not upstate. We got CBW up in upstate New York.
I got you. I got you upstate. I'm not talking about you.
You should become hockey fans and root for the Rangers. That's what you should do right now, because you'll have a fun season. You'll probably lose in the first or second round of the playoffs, but you'll at least have hope.
Right.
Because there's no hope. No more.
Not in
for
football.
none of your teams.
Not in the NFL.
No more.
Season's over for both teams.
Done.
And look, what's good for the goose, I'll give it to you. The Patriots should tank. Matthew Judon is going to be done for the year. Christian Gonzalez, outstanding rookie cornerback. Labrum tear, out indefinitely.
Oh, no. I didn't know that.
Yeah. It's time. In the years, Patriots season's over. That's it. Wrap it up, put it away. Talk to me next year. This is about the future now, and all this year is now for me is finding out whether or not Mac Jones should be the quarterback next year. It's liberating in some ways because I know the team's dead. So now it's basically every game is exhibition games and whether or not I want to bet against the Patriots or not for the rest of the year. I'm not firing Bill. People were talking about firing Belichick. I'm not firing him. Okay. I think Bill leaves when Bill wants to leave. He's 17 wins away from Don Shula. That's what he's pushing for. Okay. Once he becomes the all-time most winningest coach in NFL history, he'll step away. It's just about getting him to 17 now. Just finding how fast you can get him to 17. And it's probably sometime in the 2025 season, to be quite honest.
It's not next year.
Probably not. No, they're probably an 8,
I mean,
9
they're going to
win
go
team.
under to 6.5 now, right?
Maybe, potentially, yeah, it's possible. I mean, their schedule does have some winnable football games, and I do think that they aren't, it's not a train wreck season like the Jets and the Giants, but I think it's a chance to potentially win, go 7-10.
Oh man.
Just finish above the Jets. You'll get another win against the Jets later in the year. You got some teams that are bad that you're going to face. Belichick will still be able to coach up guys, defensively up against rookie quarterbacks when they'll face those. So
Gorov said he'll play taps for the Pats and the Raiders. Joel Onler just came in and chat, said, Matt, you don't have to tank. They suck anyway.
No, see, I disagree with that. They suck. Like, they're not, you want to be awful. They're not awful. They've got talent. I mean, Judon and Gonzalez were the two best players on defense. So that's
pick
brutal.
them against the Saints this week. They're going to beat the Saints this week.
Maybe because the Saints have their own problems. I mean, the Saints are a mess as well. So that's what I mean. There's games at home they can win.
What the hell's the total in that game? That should be 36, I think.
Fair.
What the hell is the total? 40? Oh.
So I mean, I'm just saying, I would tank for a quarterback. I would definitely. I need to see what Mac Jones looks like for the rest of the year. But I've been a pretty big Mac Jones apologist. But now being under Bill O'Brien's wing, there's not much. I mean, that the game he just played against the Cowboys, that's it. Like, that's a good defense. It's a ball hawking defense. It's on the road. Show me what you got, and he puked all over himself. Really bad turnovers.
That's going to be another good defense. The Saints, this is not good.
Saints are good. No, that's true. Saints have won in Foxborough 2 years ago. They went up there and won against Mac Jones, making him throw. I think they had a pick six, and I mean, the run game.
The only way that game's going over if there's a special teams or a defensive touchdown.
The run game for the Patriots, the offensive line is something that people aren't talking about a whole lot with the Patriots, but they've had 4 different offensive line starting groups in 4 games. And that's really bad because they have to run the football because Mac Jones is great with play action. But if the defense has no respect for their running game, and they don't, I mean, it's Ezekiel Elliott and Ramondre
or the
Stevenson.
Game script dictates that they're not running the ball anymore.
Well, even still, even like the first quarter, like look when all those turnovers took place against the Cowboys. The fumble early, the pick six, it was all first half situations. It wasn't even like crunch time turnovers. That's just the Patriots can't run the football. So
would Caleb go there? They weren't on his list.
It was not on his list. We'll do that later in the week. I'm holding that story until Wednesday or Thursday because we do heavy college football. But that Caleb Williams story is awesome about I told you, he even admitted it. I mean, he can make more money at USC staying for 1 year at USC as a senior than he will as a rookie quarterback in the NFL.
I don't believe that.
I do. I 100% believe it. Should Jonathan Taylor play this week? He was put on the PUP list. He wants to be traded. He doesn't want to play for the Colts. But they're 2-2. And now they may run him out there. They may play him.
Does he want to play?
He may not have a choice. If he chooses not to play, it's a different story. They put him on the PUP list. He's off the PUP list. He's practicing. He's active. Now it's him refusing. And now you talk about getting suspended, losing pay. It's a different story now. They tried to trade. Their asking price was too high for him. They've run out of options, both sides. He's going to have to play.
I mean, if you don't want to play, I wouldn't play him. Dress him. If you have to dress him or just put him on the inactives. No?
You could if you want to, or you could force his hand and make him play and see what he does.
Make him play?
Yes, you're paying him.
Make somebody play running back in the NFL. Go in there and run your heart out? Or what?
If he stands there, it's insubordination. You can go ahead and rip the contract up. There's all sorts of legal things you can do if he just doesn't decide to play, fakes an injury, whatever it might be.
I don't know how that works.
He's practicing, so I mean, I don't know. If I'm the Colts, I play him. He's your best player, legitimately. Whether you want to be here or not, you're playing until we can find a solution for this.
Well, he's playing for the game check, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep. If he wants it, he may not need it.
And you don't go, if you're going to play, you're going to try.
Right.
So you don't have to worry about that. I just want to make sure he wants to play. I'm going to just say, look, do you want to do this? If you want to do this, you're in. If you don't want to do this, then don't worry about it. I mean, they're, they're 2-2 without him.
I know, but they got a shot to win the division. I mean, it's a big game. It's Colts Titans. This is a big game.
What is
the Texans? The Texans look. The Texans look good. The Texans just killed the Bengals.
It's coming back. Yeah. The ones are becoming picks.
Right.
Tennessee will be favored by tomorrow.
What if he plays? What if Taylor plays?
Thursday? Doesn't matter.
Okay. You called this. You said, get ready for the headlines.
Wait a second. What is this? Oh, my God.
Travis Kelce and the Chiefs are seeing major betting action thanks to Taylor Swift. You literally said on Monday, I'm fine with this as long as we don't hear the gambling stories about people betting on the Chiefs due to Taylor Swift. And there's your headline in the USA Today.
What are we doing? I can't believe it. It's only Tuesday.
They are seeing headlines that Taylor Swift is causing handle on the Chiefs to go up.
Yeah. I don't even know what to say. Like it's just I knew it was coming.
You predicted it. You're like,
I knew it was coming.
As long as we don't see about people betting on Taylor Swift because of the Chiefs, because of this relationship, I'm good. And then on Tuesday, USA Today, boom. There's your headline.
Did the person that wrote that research it?
Yes, they have quotes.
Just fed it to them. They got quotes.
They got quotes from books. Oh. Tipico is quoted all over this story. USA Today
really?
They have an exclusive. Yeah. How much did bettors put on Travis Kelce? A lot. Enough to make a sportsbook cry tears of joy, perhaps. According to the latest data points from Tipico Sportsbook, there was a 27% increase in overall bets from week 3 to week 4 on the Chiefs. The Chiefs also saw a 25% increase on total money line and spread bets from the week before. But that's just the Chiefs. Kelce was the real draw. The 7-time Pro Bowler saw an uptick of 115%, over twice as many player prop bets placed upon him between this week and last week. He also saw a 122% increase in Travis Kelce anytime touchdown bets. Now, that's all well and good, but couldn't that just be a coincidence? Maybe. I mean, the Jets had given up 3 touchdowns to tight ends over the previous 2 weeks and even allowed one against the Chiefs, although it was Noah Gray, not Kelce. However, an increase in bets of this magnitude is almost impossible to replicate under any circumstances. Clearly, there was other forces at play. Outside of the Chiefs game,
guess they went from taking 8 bets on it to 16. Like the percentage is great. You doubled the amount of bets. So they went from, enough to count on 2 hands to double that. That's fine. But
did these wagers pay off? Most of them, no. The 2 most popular player prop bets on DraftKings on Monday night, Kelce's anytime touchdown score and Kelce long reception of over 22 yards. The latter bet was boosted by DraftKings in a promotion in honor of Taylor Swift's 2012 song 22. Neither of those bets hit, though. Kelce put up an uncharacteristically mediocre night in New York, catching the ball just 6 times for 60 yards and no touchdowns and a long of 16 as the entire Chiefs offense really struggled to get going throughout the entire game.
Well, they're coming. They're coming for her. The Chiefs fans are they're coming. They're going to blame her. Now you're
they already
money.
are.
Now you're losing money. If the Chiefs lose a game,
they're going to blame Taylor.
He has no bad game, drops a pass or something.
100% it's coming. It's there's no debate in my mind. They're going to blame her. And here's the funny thing. Now we're getting in these conversations about everyone's getting ready to blame Taylor. Why aren't we going to blame Kelce? It should be Travis's fault, not Travis playing poorly is not Taylor's fault. It's that Travis can't handle the attention of what he got himself into. He bit off more than he can chew type of stuff. Chief fans are awesome. They're 100% saying he's mentally drained. He's distracted. The team is sick and tired of the attention, blah, blah, blah. It's great. Yoko Ono is the new nickname for Taylor Swift.
Oh, don't do that. Oh, my goodness. Kendall's upset. She said she broke girl code. Taylor's so annoying for that. She's so fake. Wow.
She broke girl code. What was the girl code that Taylor broke?
Girl code is. What did she do?
What's the girl code?
I don't know.
She went to her boyfriend's game. What's wrong with that? What's girl code?
I don't know. I'm not sure.
I don't know what the code that she broke. So Thursday night, we're getting Chicago at Washington.
You're watching that.
I mean, what is this?
You're
Chicago-
watching that. I am watching baseball.
In
There's
prime
no.
time?
I am not watching. I have
Could
to
this?
send
Here's a question:
text.
Could Thursday night football be beaten by a playoff baseball game
There
is that
has to
possible?
be game 3s
for
So-
Thursday? Correct. Yeah.
right?
But say
So-
say it's one game 3. Say what happens? Like one of these series, only one game 3 would be up against this game: football versus baseball, playoff baseball against this garbage. Because one's on Amazon Prime, the other's on multiple different cable networks, and people may not put on their Amazon Prime.
I can guarantee you that I am not, unless the game is rained out. Listen, there's, you know who's playing Thursday college football?
It's bad, isn't it?
Sam Houston State is playing Liberty,
Yeah, bad.
and Western Kentucky is playing Louisiana Tech.
Yeah, because next week we get Maction starting next week.
We got 2 games on Wednesday this week: Jacksonville State, Middle Tennessee,
No,
and Florida International, New Mexico State.
Maction
tomorrow.
Maction starts next week.
Yeah,
I'm not betting college football tomorrow. Those games I have no interest in those games tomorrow.
I have no interest in Chicago, Washington, other than seeing the train wreck that it is. If there's a baseball game on, I will be watching the baseball.
Big
game.
move on the Commanders.
What is it now?
It was 4.5. Now it's 6.5.
Yeah, it's not going past 7. Yeah, 6.5.
Total's 44.5.
See, I don't know who had 4 or 4.5, but like Circa opened at 6, went to 6.5, touched 7, right back to 6.5. So, I mean, that's a take the dog. No, that's take the Bears.
You want the Bears? Really?
I don't want to lay 7 or 6.5.
4.5 open. I mean, according to
No way.
4.5 open, bet to 6.5 is what I'm looking at. Opened at 4.5, 42.5 has been bet to 6.5, 44.5.
Yeah, no way. No way. I don't want it's Bears.
You want the Bears?
Plus
Holy.
points. That's a lot of points.
It is
Yes.
ugly.
That's
Ugly game.
We got to do something with the primetime games. I mean, we're gonna get the best primetime game of the past couple years on Sunday night. Dallas, San Francisco is tremendous.
It is tremendous. That's a playoff game.
3.5 is the spread.
It's a war.
Totals high enough, but not too high. 45.
Right.
That's perfect. You want to talk about excited for a Sunday night game? We might have to do. We could do. Oh no, I don't want to even tease that we'll do a stream for that, but we could do a stream for that one. That would be fun.
It's a good game. Okay, so numbers have come out. This is just placed bets from books on Sunday, week 4 of the NFL. So Kentucky launched on Thursday. So there were 761,000 bets placed on apps during during week 4 of the NFL.
Sports betting app downloads. What the hell does that mean?
So people went ahead and grabbed a hold of downloading these
Opened
apps.
up an account.
Yes. Well,
wow.
no, just downloaded the app, not opened up the accounts. Just went ahead and got the app on their phone. What they did with it, we don't know.
Okay.
The bets they placed, we don't know. This is I phrased that wrong. Sorry. It's sports betting application downloads, not bets, downloads during week 4. DraftKings, FanDuel, and then the drop is dramatic.
Holy caca.
Now, BetMGM was there, but then Bet365, which is going live at different places, Kentucky being one of them, Caesars, then Fanatics.
If you're not in the first 4, what are you even there for?
Correct. It's tough.
Wow.
There were 669,000 during week 3. Then Kentucky launched. Now there's 761,000 sports betting app downloads. I mean, Bally Bet with 1,000, Bet Rivers 13,000, Barstool 18,000, although that's going away. And flipping to ESPN Bet. Fanatics. I mean, I'm putting this up because I think it's a fascinating look at still DraftKings and FanDuel, but DraftKings is doing some work here. in certain states, DraftKings is either catching or passing FanDuel. I thought FanDuel had a lead that was never going to be matched. I thought it was always going to be 1 and 2. DraftKings may have something to say here about who's going to be the number one sports book in America.
Oh, they're gonna. It's McDonald's and Burger King. It's
right.
It's
going back and forth.
Yeah, they're gonna. It's those two and everybody else.
Mm-hmm.
Even number 3 is going to be a distant third.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, that's good. That's. I mean, you can tell. You know, if I'm one of the other ones, I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, listen, we either got to be really good at what we do, or we got to pack up shop. It ain't enough. It might be enough in big states. It ain't enough in a state with 6 million people.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think so. Unless you're getting them in and you're doing the work on the casino and all that other stuff. But even then, the brand is I mean, they are the 2 best apps. Yes or no?
Yes.
It's not even a debate.
I mean, Caesar's new app is good. I'll say that. I mean, I like it a lot. I think it's really slick.
It's not bad. It's the sometimes the menus aren't as like clear, like you got to find this, that, but the offerings are great. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I can't believe what we were operating on that now that I've used that for a month and a half or whatever it was when we got it turned over. I'm like, now I get it. Like, people come here and try to use some of the antiquated apps, and they're like,
they get mad.
what are you guys doing? This is not, I mean, you have no options available.
Mm-hmm.
People want options for this stuff. I get it why the book doesn't do it.
They want menus. I've said that for the longest time, that people want options. They want menus. Even if you don't bet it, they want to be able to line shop, and they want to be able to look around and say, okay, well, this book has it. Why don't you have it? And it's, you know, we're not interested. Go somewhere else. And that's fine. That's their right as operating a business.
We got a lot of people in the chat right now. We just got another influx of people. Put the app you use the most.
Oh, that would be very interesting.
Put the app, you guys. This is a good question that we can take to our meetings and stuff.
Yeah. What do you guys use the most?
Which one do you use the most?
How about in a sentence, why do you use it?
Well, just put which one you use the most, and then
okay.
I think we can expand on that maybe tomorrow.
Okay. I would love to find out why, because is it convenience? Is it just, it was the first one I signed up for? They had the best sign up bonus. Like, why? I think for a lot of people, it's just like if they had a FanDuel or DraftKings account, just slide over and bet sports. It was already on your phone. You're already familiar with it. So you just switch on over.
Huh. Oh, wow. Konowitsky said bet Rivers.
Mm-hmm. On the East Coast, I bet there's a lot of people who bet Rivers. Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, that area.
I use the app. I use it every day to do the pirate stuff.
Right.
Menus are deep. I mean, there's a lot of stuff on there. It's all automated. And you definitely would be in danger of probably being put in the buckets. But they're all like that now.
Mm.
I mean, you know, I told you, we talked to Edelstein. He got limited at DraftKings after 4 bets. He didn't even win.
That's the crazy. The crazy thing about it is just what you bet, not if you won or not.
Right?
Hey, man, you 4 straight bets, you beat the closing number. That's it. You're out. What? I was betting $25 a game. What do you mean I'm out? Nah, man, sorry.
I mean, I look at the DraftKings and the FanDuel every day.
Oh yeah, me too.
That's I look at them.
I look at 5 books every single day, minimum. Before I do the juice, I look at 5. I look at 5 books.
You show the exception to the rule. People should do that. That should be normal practice.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I saw today between 2 different books. One price was 300 to 1, and the other price was 450 to 1. Like, that's a gigantic. If you do $20 to win 6,000 or $20 to win 8,500 or 9,000. Yeah, 9,000. That's a gigantic difference.
Yeah, I do FanDuel, DraftKings, and BetMGM, Superbook, and Circa are the 5 I look at. Occasionally, I'll go to Caesars. So
Right.
occasionally I'll go to 6, but I'm always on 5. I always look at 5, no matter what the bet is. I'm always looking at 5 books, just trying to find the best price as to what I can bet and where I can bet it. Those are the 5 that I'm looking at. The only ones I have to do the gymnastics for is DraftKings means I have to call somebody. It's more difficult.
Right.
But the other 4 are here. So the other 4 I can get prices and I can bet. So it's not that difficult to price shop. And generally speaking,
there's a lot of bet MGMs in there. I didn't see that one coming, but there was a lot of bet MGMs.
I'd be curious to the juice guys. Because we were pushing people to bet MGM for
the
better part of
Jeff was
2
having a
years.
little issue in Illinois with people coming at him like, I'll sign up for the app, but what are you offering me? Benson for Circa.
Like in front of his face?
They were asking questions on the Twitter, and then
of course
while he was there.
Bonus whores are everywhere. Of course. They're
said
conditioned now.
That's the
Pavlov's
danger.
dog.
That's what's happened. Yep.
Look at all the people who want refunds. People on Twitter are like, "Hey, are you refunding this? By the way, hey, you got hurt. Are you refunding all the Geno Smith stuff from last night?
Yeah,
saw that last night. Like, oh, Geno Smith passing props. You're refunding that, right? Like you've created this army of zombies who constantly just believe that they're not actually betting. It's there's my insurance. It's like playing the insurance on a blackjack table without actually playing it. Hey, you got 21. You got to pay me back. That's not fair. You can't get 21. No. That's not right. Right? I'm good. I get my bet back. Right? The hell are you talking about? No, you don't. You got a chance to bet the insurance. You didn't take it. Yeah, but come on. You gave it to me last time. It's what the problem is.
That's not good at all.
No, but
that's not good for anybody.
It's dumb. But the books, like their customer service, must get overrun by that, and they're like, it's up to the people. Like I feel bad for the customer service people who work at DraftKings on the phones and whatnot, and being like, you got some guy half in the bag calling you up, going, refund my bet now. Did it last time. Do it this time. Well, sir, last time it was that.
Where was that guy from that you just did?
Drunk Ohio person.
Oh, I was gonna say, sound like is that a Massachusetts guy or?
It could be that too. Yeah. Could be a townie, drunk townie, could going in and doing it. So that leads us to this conversation. This is crazy. So, article that came out in the Guardian that shut your TV off. That we'll get in trouble. You know, rebroadcast stuff. Yes. Guardian article, big expose into what Australia is dealing with right now, gambling wise. We got guys over in Australia who are watching this. It's not, the danger is not sports betting. Okay. So just be clear here. This is not a sports betting story, although sports betting is part of it.
Okay.
But if the goal is to get everyone to have a casino on their phone, if that's the whole reason why PAPS passed, it's why everyone's doing the applications, it's to get people to be a iCasino player. That there are kids as young as 10 years old playing these slot machines and getting addicted.
For real money?
For real money. There's kids who are losing $2,000. There's a story in there of a 10-year-old who lost $2,000. He bet all of his birthday money. Got $500, immediately went to the casino and bet it and lost it all. And by the time the parents came around and realized what was going on, that they had his debit card. All you need in Australia is a debit card and you can bet. You can gamble. You can gamble on slot machines.
At any age.
Well, you're not supposed to at any age, but what they're finding out is that there's no security.
Oh.
They're finding out that these kids are gambling really, really young.
Oh, that's terrible.
They changed his name, but Steven was just 10 years old when he started gambling online, an addiction that had him by the age of 15 losing over $2,000 a year and grappling with embarrassment and despair. He remembers gambling away $500 in birthday money when he was 12 years old. I was late to school because I didn't want to leave my computer, he says. Now he's 24, living in Melbourne. He says the habit led him to drug use as well as mental health issues, and he's only just starting to recover from. He's 24. A Guardian Australia investigation has revealed an increasing number of young people entering adulthood with depression and anxiety alongside with debt and relationship breakdowns because of gambling in their youth. Data provided by Gambling Help Online revealed a 16% increase in the number of young people aged 24 and under contacting the help service in the 2022-23 fiscal year.
The parents let that happen for 5 years? That's a good question to Juice.
Mm.
How did they not know?
It's a great question. With youth age between 15 and 24 in Victoria accounting for about 600 of the 2,000 requesting help. Public health experts say this data represents just a fraction of the young people being harmed in Australia from either being from their own gambling or that of others. They have called for comprehensive bans on all form of marketing for gambling products and say that trusting the industries that self-regulate simply doesn't work.
Self-regulating that really doesn't work.
Fair.
I mean, they want you to keep doing it. They're making money off of it. And they're not going to really, I don't know if it takes a lot or just takes someone to say, look, enough, you need to stop. But this one, I mean, the 10-year-old's on the parents. Like,
yeah, Australians lose about $25 billion a year in legal forms of gambling, according to Australian Institute of Health and Welfare, the largest per capita losses in the world, because Australians aren't good at gambling. Children grow up with gambling enmeshed in the sports they play and watch. The online environment offers innovative ways for gambling to be marketed to them. One study of Victorian secondary school students found that almost a third of them had gambled in the last 30 days. That's crazy.
You're responsible for your kids.
Like children. I mean, over the past decade, Professor Samela Thomas has spoken with thousands of young Australians and their parents about gambling. Children as young as 8 find the content of gambling ads appealing and have high brand awareness and detailed recall of the content of those ads, her research has found.
Whose motivation is this article? Or
motivation? I don't know if the Guardian Australia is who wrote it. I don't know if it's any motivation. It's a study about.
I mean, it's like when one of the gambling groups writes the articles about stuff. I mean,
you think it's negatively written? You think it's skewing towards the negative?
Well, I think it's just somebody's got to take personal responsibility.
At 10 years old?
If you remember, was it last week or the week before when Maddie was on something on YouTube and you knew and you found out and you said something?
Yep. Well, that was from you. You told me, and I went and searched and
right.
found it. I didn't know. I had no idea that she had actually searched that I found one video, but I didn't know she had seen it.
Right. Well,
you told me, you tipped me off, and then I went and looked at it. I was like, oh my gosh, she has seen a video of this.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's on the parent. Like, and the parent can claim they didn't know. Like, the kid's losing money. What are you doing gambling? You want to gamble? You gamble with me. Let's go. Sit down. I'm going to teach you how to play blackjack. Give me your money. Let's play. They lose it. You go, okay, now you got no money. Was that fun? No. Okay. And you do it again until they want to, you got to have to learn how to lose before you'd ever know how to win.
For those people who are curious, children use the credit cards of adults to gamble, according to the Queensland Regional Manager of Relationships Australia, Helen Poynton. And because betting is such an integrated part of Australian culture, parents are also downloading gambling apps and signing up on their children's behalf to get around the age restriction. So parents are letting them bet. They're signing them up like in Iowa State, like the Iowa State story.
Well, it's a 20-year-old. It's a little
correct.
No,
10-year-old. Yeah, I'm right. I'm just saying that's what the average age is. She recently approached by a grandmother asking for help as her 13 and 14-year-old grandchildren had taken her credit card to use for online gambling, putting her in $12,000 in debt.
Oh my God.
She didn't want to report her own grandchildren to the police, but she was trying to pay off the debt off her own pension income.
12 dimes?
Yep. Her 13 and 14-year-old put her in. The study found children found the most common gambling activity for 16 to 17-year-olds was private betting with friends or family, but they also reported betting on sports games, horses, and dog racing. Despite proof of age being required for entry into gaming venues, about 9,000 teenagers who took part in the study reported having spent money on poker machines, casino table games, and Keno. Things aren't good in Australia. things aren't great. So
It has to be. It's just like I'm telling you. I learned so much about life when I moved to Curacao because everything went. It was a Dutch-owned island, still is. You could go get weed, you could go drink, you could go do whatever you wanted. There were women available, places they called it the ranch. Just go and pay and leave. There was so many things going on. Gambling was all over in the island, and there's definitely people that have a problem with it. But I saw it for like, not that it became normal earlier, but it became somewhat accepted. And it was on the parents to teach the kids the dangers. They're not doing anything down there like that, it sounds like.
it doesn't sound like. Hold the thought. Sports Grid and SiriusXM, appreciate you guys being with us here. We're going to continue this conversation and more for the show. For you guys who are live on YouTube and who are live on Twitter, you guys are getting bonus time.
I can't imagine losing, like finding out on my credit card that the kid lost 12 dimes. I don't know what I would do. I'm getting aggravated. I'm going to start choking thinking about it. Like, what? How did?
So along the same lines,
Oh,
Taylor Swift is getting heat in Australia because her tour in Australia, which will take place next summer, I believe, is being sponsored by a casino resort company. And anti-gaming people are coming out saying, wait a minute, the average age of your audience is what exactly? Swift
What
is
is
coming
it?
back. Swift is coming back and saying, wait a minute, this is the resort that's advertising, not the casino, but there is a monster casino in the resort. So they're saying, wait a minute, you're getting people to you're telling these young people to go. This is now the Taylor Swift. It's called Crown, I guess. It's this company, this resort,
Okay.
the Crown Resort.
okay.
And it's the Crown Resort is sponsoring her. I think she's doing 3 or 4 shows in Australia. It's Taylor Swift Eras Tour presented by Crown.
Okay.
And people who are anti-gaming in Australia are saying, look at this evidence, look at the problems. And now the biggest pop star in the world is coming here, pushing young people to go stay at this property that has gaming and casinos.
Is that on her?
No, I
It's
don't
not-
believe.
it's
I
a-
don't believe it's
no.
on her, but this is what Australia is. I brought this up today because I think we have to, in America, pay attention to those who have had mistakes and made mistakes before us. We have to be aware that human beings, we have test cases there for us in Australia and in Europe for us to look at and say, all right, let's not wind up in the same spot that they're at. How do we avoid what happened there and have those conversations now before the iCasino becomes a reality across the entire country? Because it's going to be at some point in the very near future. We're going to get rid of the Wire Act, or more and more states are going to legalize iCasino because they're going to say, you got a sports book on your phone. What the hell's the difference? Go on ahead and open up the casino, even though we know the money difference is gigantic from a iCasino making money perspective versus a sports book.
I've been reading about this stuff for years, like what's going on in England, what goes on in Australia, all of it. Everybody's head's in the sand here. They're just talking blah 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 blah. I don't. What do you mean? I'm like, oh, yeah, we'll throw the responsible gaming stuff on, stuff. If you have a problem, you can self-exclusion yourself. And that's it. It's like hands off. Like we'll put it out there and say that it's on you. But in other places, they did that at the beginning, and then it just kind of passed by, and it becomes a problem. But I don't think it's like this thing with Taylor's. It's not on her at all. She's going over there doing the shows.
And they're selling a title sponsorship to whomever. It's like coming to Vegas. If Taylor Swift has been sponsored by MGM here, but wait, there's a gaming component to it. Yeah, but they do a lot of other things. Like it's not just what they do; they do other things too. So it's just there's a lot going on in Australia. Coming back to the States, an Iowa State tight end got his case dismissed because they didn't file the court case in time. They forgot about it. There were so many of these. It fell through the cracks. I guess in Iowa, you have 45 days to bring the case to trial. And they didn't do it.
Oh.
And so one kid walked. Other kids are having the same problems. Like, so it sounds like there's some.
So he got to play?
I don't know if he's going to play or not, but his case got dismissed.
Oh.
So, I mean, I guess it's up to Iowa State whether Iowa State wants to play the kid or not. But it is one of those situations where you're like,
are they going to play him?
I guess he could if they wanted to. Deshaun Hanika, the state waited too long to indict him. Wow. Attorneys asked for dismissal, and the prosecutors agreed because Hanika had not been indicted within 45 days after he waived a preliminary trial as state law requires. That deadline was the 24th of September. He was not indicted until the 28th of September. Story County prosecutors did not respond for a message from the AP seeking comment. Hanika was among the more than a dozen athletes who were charged in connection with a state investigation into illegal sports wagering at Iowa and Iowa State. Most were accused of underage gambling and registering accounts on mobile sports betting apps under a different name to disguise their identity. This one individual had made 288 bets on 70 Iowa State basketball games. He had pleaded not guilty. NCAA rules call for a varying length of suspension up to permanent bans for athletes who violate its gambling policy. Hanika has not played this season but remains on the roster for Iowa State.
I'm just curious if the
Hanika, I guess you say that. Hanika, one of the two.
Got to be responsible, man, for yourself and the people around you.
Right.
You got to get back to that just in general. I mean, but the gambling stuff it's a microcosm for other stuff, right? I mean, it's not a problem until somebody in power says it's a problem. And they're like, oh, hold on. We got an issue here.
Right.
You know, and then it's like, okay, we'll change the rules or let's make it sure that it's a problem. Keep splashing all these ads all over everything. It does become normal. Keep splashing everything on the phones and all the push notifications.
Yeah.
Guy loses his money on his account, takes a break for a week, 2 weeks, whatever, gets a notification. Hey, we just threw some money in your account.
Come back.
It's so
tough.
Somebody has got to put the brakes on inside and say, what are we doing? Let's slow this down. There's no one doing that. Just push some more, get market share, and let's get everybody.
Time for better to book. All right, 3 bets for you going. We talked about a bunch of them. Over 7.5, Texas and Tampa. Betting it or booking it?
Got out of the top of the first, no runs.
Okay. What's it now? What's the live number?
The live number
6.5.
is, let's see. I don't think, it might have moved. Let me refresh here. I was looking at next week's or this week's football. I can't believe it. No, it's still 7.5.
Yeah, we'll see. It's pretty low. So I still think I got a shot. This is bet on the bullpen. So if you haven't bet this and you want to wait and let the number come down, I'm betting it because I think the Rangers bullpen is good for 3 runs minimum today to be given up.
It's a good idea. It's probably going to be 6.5 after this inning.
Yeah,
after
go ahead.
This half inning.
Bet the over. Moneyline Marlins plus 139 against Phillies today.
This is definitely live. I'm going to say book it, but this is definitely live. This is going to be. You might be able to take both sides of this. If the Marlins score first, you could take the plus back, but you could bounce it back and forth. This is going to be a close baseball game. Under.
Yeah, I like. Yeah,
I do. Okay, I was going to say I'll give you a better to book it under 7.
Oh, under. Yeah, in this game, absolutely. It's the Marlins. The Marlins are playing over games against the Phillies that they can't. Otherwise, I mean, they could. It's 10-1 Phillies then. Like they're getting annihilated. That's the only way the game's. If the game goes over, Philadelphia is scoring 7-8 runs themselves. That's
right.
In my mind, that's how the game goes over.
Okay.
And then finally, Toronto money line, even money against the
I'll
Twins.
book this one too.
Okay.
Well, I think Minnesota wins this one and then loses tomorrow. That one's going 3.
So bet whoever wins today, bet against it tomorrow.
Have they named the pitchers yet for that? No,
I don't think so.
No, that's what they do now in the postseason. Putting the lines up for this was such a nightmare in a book because you had a number and you're like, oh, yeah, they're starting Kikuchi tomorrow. Nope, they're not. Oh, all right. Now what? Or
Yeah, because game 1 influences game 2.
yes.
So that's why. Super chat questions to be answered. We got a bunch of them here today.
Nice. Thank you,
Dave's
guys.
Daily Picks. The guests on this show the guests this show gets are fucking outstanding. Thank you, Dave. We appreciate that. Thank Dave for getting on Maddie. That was awesome.
Great.
Tyler said, "What's poppin', fellas? Curious what exactas you guys have invested in so far for Major League Baseball? That's gonna take a while, is it not? How many do you have?
No, I bought the American League. I have Twins and Blue Jays
Versus everybody.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I don't know who's going to win that series. So I was like, you know what? The prices were just ridiculous. I mean, they're 500 and 400 to 1, and like they were just absurd. I was like, I had no intentions of doing that. I really went there to get the Rays and to get the Phillies and to get some Brewers, but I panicked because the Brewers prices all changed because of the Woodruff news.
Right.
So I was like, whoa. I didn't text the guys in the back, but I was like, oh, either somebody bet it they liked or they just moved it on their own. So I hesitated there. But like Philly stuff, Twins and Blue Jays both. You know, because I don't know who's going to win game 1. I think the Rays win game 1. So I got Rays stuff. And Diamondbacks are playing who? The Brewers.
Brewers, yeah.
I got a couple Diamondbacks prices once because I couldn't resist the price.
Okay.
Diamondbacks against all the dogs. So Twins and down. Twins, Rays, Rangers, Blue Jays. Jesus. They're all 300 to 1 or more.
My God, that number must be just ridiculous.
It was like when we bought the Giants tickets last year to win the Super Bowl. Remember that?
Oh yeah, it was 250 to 1, 300 to 1.
It was fun. I was like,
great.
Yeah, here's $20. Give me that to win
Fun.
8,000. Give me that to win that one win over 10. I said, no, hold on. We got to get that. Give me that one for 15 or whatever.
Right.
So yeah, we kept it small, but that was fun.
Good. That Rainmaker. Major League Baseballs are here, boys. Got Blue Jays, Brewers, Rays, and the Phillies in round 1.
Ooh.
Phillies, Brewers, NLCS, ALCS, Rays, Astros, World Series, Astros, Phillies, with the Phillies winning it. What are your thoughts on the Stros and Philly at 30 to 1?
I like it. I got it. I got the Philly. I got the Philly scenarios. Philly over Astros. He got 30. I got 45. So I think Philly's a team that can beat Atlanta. That's it. It's the only one. So
God, I don't.
But Philly's got to beat the Marlins. What if the Marlins?
Yes, that's I like.
That's
the Marlins
why I got
tickets.
the Marlins tickets.
Yeah, I like the Marlins tickets a lot.
Because if they play Atlanta, I'm
Braves.
just going to bet Atlanta in the series.
Yeah, don't explain that to the Juice audience because they have no fucking idea any of this stuff. It's unbelievable. I've gone for 3 days of pulling my hair out with people who simply cannot understand the principle of doing that. They cannot, for the life of them, figure out. I quoted you like 3 times last night on the podcast, going like, I am extremely thankful for the time I spend talking to you, but this is the last fucking time I'm doing a bet with the Brewers because people simply don't understand the idea of hedging.
Whoa.
It's unbelievable because they start making like this is I felt like you talking to me 3 years ago and what you must have thought on the things that I would say because they tried to make lines themselves for what these series were going to be.
Oh,
and I was like, you have to stop being like, please stop acting like you're a bookmaker. Like, please stop acting like you know what these numbers are going to be, and you know what the line's going to be for the Dodgers and the Brewers, or you know what the line should be for the Dodgers and the Brewers because it was in July. It was this in July, so it must be the same thing coming up now in October. And I can't tell you how many DMs I have right now from people who I just stopped answering because I was like, I'm not talking. You guys do not understand this, and I am done. I'm like, I am done with this because I will never try to do that again on the Juice. I will only do it here. We will talk about positions, taking positions, about how to do that in ways of hedging off of put a flag down, and then how to work off of it. because it's too far. It's too big. That podcast audience does not understand that level. I got to stay where I'm, stay in my betting 101.
Right.
We can't go to the 400 level course yet because it causes their brains to melt. People don't get the idea of betting a game and actually having plus on both sides. You have to be predicting what's going to happen. It has to be, this is who wins versus I don't care who wins because I have plus on both sides. I'm going to make money regardless.
If you're taking plus 110 on both sides, you bet $1,000. You win $100 no matter what.
Not with their math, because you think I'm bad at math? Holy shit. Like, whoa. They couldn't figure out that if I have plus 154 on the Diamondbacks to win the series, or I have 21-1 on the Brewers to win the World Series, that if the Diamondbacks win, I'm profitable. They couldn't figure that out. I would lose
100, but you win 154,
and I'd win $54.
So you win $54. Yeah, you spent 200
to win $54.
$54, but you don't lose anything.
I was like going down a rabbit hole last night, going like, I was like Lewis saying, for fuck's sake, I'm done. Like I'm done. Like I can't explain this. You don't get this. I can't help you. Like you should just bet your bets, just bet your money line wagers, your 10-leg parlays and stop, because I can't. I was so pissed off last night. Still pissed off, obviously. Let's see. Crunchy came in a couple of times. He says, better to book it, Dave. Set the line.
Yep.
How many times a week do we hear about the Bruins and or Celtics before the season starts? Meanwhile, Perrault ignores how bad the Patriots are. Wait a minute. I just did, Crunchy. Where were you? Were you late? I just told you the Patriots should tank. We did a whole segment on the Patriots losing both Judon and Gonzalez.
He's just.
I know he's needling. I get it, but that's fun. But like, you can't needle it. If I'm with you and I agree with you, what do we want here? Like,
we are going to hear about.
You should be worried
every
about
damn time, and then they win that game in November. It's going to be nauseous.
You should worry about Oregon State a little bit here, Crunchy. You got to worry about what's going on here.
Game time. Game time.
Just like how you glossed over how fucking bad the Steelers are becoming.
Oh, listen. Steelers are fucking bad. Crunch. This is Crunchy B. It's nighttime in Pittsburgh behind me. I'm not changing the background, but if I could, I would. Like they're done. It sounds like it's blowing up. Like I'm Pony and Mac and all the guys we've had them on the show. All the local guys are like, I don't remember, a time where the Steeler fans turned on the whole city and the team and everything. Like,
it's because of Matt Canada. It's because the team won't fire Matt Canada. That's why they're mad. They want him out. Tomlin won't do it.
Well, he's sticking with his guy and
going down with the ship.
It's Ravens week. Like if they get embarrassed at home by the Ravens.
Lamar was on a mission last week. He was unbelievable. I watched the whole game. He was fucking unbelievable.
Yeah.
2 touchdowns rushing, 2 touchdowns passing. Lamar was MVP caliber Lamar last week. And if he's going into that secondary is uh-oh.
Well, they bet the Ravens yesterday to drive a number up. It's coming back down. It's 3.5. By the way, we got through the first inning with no runs. There was a diving catch and left double play. It was just good defense so far. So the game's total is down to, make sure before I tell the people. Oh, that hit just made it go back to 7.5. So
what hit?
Wait.
Oh, they hit in the baseball game?
Yeah. Rangers got a leadoff hit.
Nice. Crunchy said Matt's turning red. I love it. Yes, I tend to turn red when I get angry.
Yeah, when he gets fired up, it's good.
Favorite thing about today is what?
Well, obviously, it's the baseball games.
Matty, that was fucking awesome. First excursion was great.
It's all of it. Like we tried to get them last week to preview the weekend.
I'm glad we got him today. I'd rather get him today for the playoffs.
Works out for a reason, right? We had him scheduled for Friday, and then he had some things come up and couldn't do it. We were going to preview the weekend and who's going to make it, who's not, what positions, and all that. This was better. This was better. He comes on today from the green room. That was awesome. But the other fun thing about today, the best thing about today is that I got up early, morning commute. If we had to go down to anywhere down by the strip or in the morning, like I tried to beat the
you're
rush.
on 95. So you're
the worst.
It's the main artery. So
It was
everybody from your neck of the woods going down to the strip is bad.
Yeah, it was bad. But once I got there, I was the only guy in the book today.
Oh, wow.
When I went to the counter. And the morning crew was there. And then Kevin got there. And our guy Kevin from Baltimore. Smiling from ear to ear, beyond excited. He had a ticket on them over season wins, and he had a ticket on them to win a division. So he was fired up. And he's like, Dave, can you please talk about the Orioles today? I said, guys,
of course,
we're going to definitely talk about the Orioles. Matt Vasgersian's on, and they're all like, from MLB Network. And I'm like, yeah, he's going to be on the show today. So make sure you're watching. They're like, how'd you get Vasgersian? I said, I asked him. I said, but
you work.
It's great, you know? And so the excitement on their faces and just about baseball, it all started this morning down there as I was talking, and then,
of course,
getting the tickets. I love October. I absolutely love October. Is this the best sports month of the calendar?
There's no debate. 100%. There's no debate.
It is the best by a mile. March is fun.
March doesn't have this, though.
Does not have this.
No.
October, hockey starts next week. Basketball starts NBA by the end of the month.
Mm-hmm.
We got the best games of baseball all month. We got still football on every
but
day.
October games for college. You have Red River, you have Alabama, Tennessee, you've got Penn State, Ohio State. There's some really good college football games in October. There's some really fun. This month, in particular, this year, 2023 October will be the best month for sports by far.
Rangers just scored.
Let's go. Nice job.
But yes, October, baby.
7
and
more.
It was 61 when I went outside today. I had to wear the jacket. I was like, it's a little bit chilly. Like, what happened? Immediately, and the wind blowing my eyes.
It's only windy up by you. It's not windy down here. It's good.
It's windy at the house, man.
We don't have the wind up by us, but yeah.
But October, baby, this is
phenomenal. Thank you to Matt Vasgersian for coming on. That was absolutely tremendous. It's really, please pass along my thanks to him when you talk to him later today, and tell him thank you for coming on, because that was really, really cool to get him on right before the MLB playoffs start. Hopefully later on in the postseason, we can grab a hold of him once again and put him on. Hit the like button, subscribe button. We have a lot to get to tomorrow, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, big college football weekend. We'll start breaking it down coming up here tomorrow. And who knows, maybe stopping by every day. We have a different idea of guests who we're trying to put on for you guys each and every single day. 11-ish Pacific time tomorrow. Dave, Matt back for BVB coming up here